having been somebody that was in a scary place financially just over a decade ago, I want you to explain what will happen to somebody with crushing student debt or who's having trouble just making the ends meet right now and they don't have a lot of savings. How will doing this exercise change their psychology about money starting today?
Yes, thank you for asking this, because if you are in large amounts of debt, whether student loan, credit card, even mortgage for some people, some of this can sound really airy-fairy. And I'm the last guy to get accused of us all sitting around the campfire saying kumbaya. I'm like, look, I'll talk about psychology, but we're also going to talk about the numbers. And so what I want to emphasize to people is that we often have this belief that we're overwhelmed with money. Okay, it's easy to feel that way. But when I ask people, show me your spending, what percentage of your income is going to housing or investments? I would say 99% of people do not know. Okay, so how can we...
I don't know.
Yeah.
I literally don't know.
Yeah, totally. It's very common. And so how can we feel in control of something if we don't understand the basic mechanics of it? Even when we drive a car, we got to know how to turn the ignition on, or, reverse. So we go through life in this very arbitrary, transactional way of like, okay, this bill came in, I'm going to pay it. This bill came in, that feels really bad. It's transactional, it's reactive. And what I'm encouraging you to do is to go from defense to offense with your money. That means once you set the intention of an Italy trip, if you're in crushing debt, you may go, hey, Ramit, I actually cannot afford to put $100 a month away. I go, okay, well, why don't we write that down, $100 a month towards Italy, but you can't do that today. That's totally fine. Next, we're going to go through your 4 key numbers in the conscious spending plan. Let's make sure you understand your numbers, and you will be quite surprised that a lot of people discover they have more money than they actually realized once they go on offense with their personal finances.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what are the 4 things that we all need to go through?
Everybody needs these 4 numbers. This is what I use instead of a budget. I don't keep a budget. You think I'm going to sit around tracking the price of asparagus for the rest of my life? Hell no. Okay. I don't want to live that kind of life.
I don't want to live that kind of life either. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So 4 numbers that you should know. These are all part of my conscious spending plan. The first is your fixed costs.
Okay.
So that would include your rent or mortgage, your utilities, car payment, gas, insurance, anything that's fixed, even groceries, every month, that goes there.
And what about the minimum debt payment, or is that part of another category?
Yeah, that counts there exactly. Thank you. And that number, you should try to get it between 50 to 60% of your take-home pay. Okay. Let me run through these all, and then I'll tell you what they mean. 50 to 60% of your take-home pay for fixed costs. Next up, your savings. How much money are you saving every month? This should be roughly 5 to 10% of your take-home. And savings would be an emergency fund or money you don't need for at least 1 to 5 years. Things like a down payment for a house, etc. Next up would be investments. Roughly 5 to 10% of take home, although I like to see it higher because investing early in life pays dividends later.
Okay.
And then
little shame for Mel Robbins, did not invest early in life. I'm just going to let that one go and focus on my dream list. Okay. Just wanted to acknowledge that when you said that, because
look,
people say that and I'm like, fuck, I didn't do that. Okay.
Well, I wish I started deadlifting when I was 13 years old, but I didn't even know what that was. So we all start from the place we start at.
That's true.
Okay. The last category is my favorite one of all. It's guilt-free spending. This is 20 to 35% of take-home pay.
What?
Now, yeah, that's right. Desserts. Mel, go get them. Beautiful cashmere coat. That's for me. Go get them. You want to get roller skates. You want to go to your gym. 20 to 35% of take-home. Now, let me tell you why I love this and why I'm getting excited about 4 numbers. Okay. So many of us shrink our lives and we agonize over some stupid $5 purchase. You really think coffee is going to change your life? It's irrelevant. It does not matter how much coffee you buy. So please stop thinking about that. The same people who agonize, I go, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know anything. I go, what's your savings rate? They go, what's that? How much are you investing? Well, I try, but I don't really know. Okay, how are you supposed to feel not overwhelmed if you don't know any key numbers? So know the 4 numbers and you will suddenly feel totally in control. Some of you aren't going to be able to hit these numbers. That's okay. At least we can work with it. We got the puzzle pieces on the table. Now we can start assembling your rich life.
Wow. Okay. I think I can do this.
Yeah.
So you just like carve out some time on the weekend and get your arms around these 4 things.
Yeah, which should take 15 minutes. Do not
No,
overthink it.
It's going to take me a while. Really? It takes 15 minutes?
Yeah, but here's what people do.
How do you do it?
You know, because the biggest challenge is people don't have the right logins. So their logins are spread all. They got their Fidelity account or some old 401k or whatever. So I would recommend breaking it up into 2 days.
Okay.
The first day is just get all your stuff assembled.
Love it.
Right? It's like cleaning the garage. And then the second day, 15 minutes and done. Do not overthink it.
Okay.
We're going for approximate numbers.
Okay.
That's it.
I love you. I love you, love you, love you. You have that, what is it, the 85% rule? Get 85% of this right, you're good.
Get on with your life. You don't need to sit there and optimize everything. It's a waste of time.
And I also love this because like it can feel so insurmountable when you've made major financial mistakes in your life.
Yeah.
That this gives you a place to start that you can then start to get better from. And I just actually had a huge wake up moment. I realized that one of the great things about growing up with parents who were very like just, I didn't ever see any concern about money and I didn't see them talking about it. Actually, that's not true. I would see my mother sitting at her desk with one of those little calculators with the tapes as she was balancing her checkbook.
Hey, that's a really important thing that you saw. You saw a woman taking control of money,
yes,
and obviously, and being capable and competent. That is a very valuable lesson to learn as a child. That obviously has come through for you. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, and she then went on to open her own retail store. And all the women, like my grandmother's a farmer and ran the money, and she had a calculator with the tape.
Amazing.
And my other grandmother, my grandparents had a bakery, and she had the thing with the tape. But what's interesting is that I think it's chill aspect has gotten too hands off for me. The fact that I can't answer those numbers like that at this stage in my life, for me, it used to be because of fear and shame and how bad the numbers were. I used to be one of those people that the bills would arrive and I would just not open them.
Yeah, common.
And because it was confronting to see the debt and confronting to see how much I had spent because I was, basically shopping to escape my life with money that I did not afford or that I didn't have. And then you'd open up the bills and be like, fuck.
Yeah, I guess I spent that much.
Yeah, I don't have that money. And so it used to be that, but I think now that I've paid off all the debt and I have savings and I've, maniacally saving, I don't look at it at all still.
Okay. Let's talk about a couple things that are so interesting about what you just said. I love the honesty. All of us have something in our lives that we feel like we should be doing better. And we kind of push the envelopes away. And I deeply understand this because for me, it was fitness. And I grew up half joking, calling myself a skinny Indian guy. And I really wish I had not said that because it became part of my identity. And, if any of us say something like, I'm bad with money, I would gently encourage you to not say that. Maybe reframe it and say, gosh, I haven't learned the skills of money yet, but I'm changing that now.
I want to stop right there. Hold on a second. I apologize for interrupting you, but this is so important. Yeah. If you just heard Ramit say, I'm bad with money, I want you to pay attention loud and clear because he's absolutely right. Or if you say something like, I don't understand, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm not good with math.
I'm not good with math. What are other things that your students say, Ramit, that really crystallize a terrible psychology around money?
My family's never been good with money. We're all bad. I'm never going to get out of this debt. We always fight about money. And I'm just an overspender.
Or my husband took care of the finances.
Oh, classic. Oh, that drives me insane. Hold on, I'm getting mad, but I'm getting mad at multiple things right now. So let me take them each in turn. Okay, first off, what you said about not opening envelopes, and then now as you've become much more financially successful, it's almost swung the other way, is totally common. In my experience, once people start earning around $150,000, they stop really paying attention to the numbers because they basically make enough to not have to really pay attention. And actually, I'm a little okay with that. I don't want people agonizing over the price of groceries if they're making $150K. But what I do want, and what I do for myself, is I spend 1 hour per month on my finances. That's it. Just 1 hour. I review the CSP. My wife and I talk about money.
Hold on. The CSP was that conscious spending plan of the four things: fixed cost, what's your automatic savings, your investments, and then the category I love the most: guilt-free fucking spending, people. Let's
there you
go.
Wow,
okay.
I love it. You added the F word. That's so good. I got to add that. That's beautiful. It is exciting. Okay, so all those things. When you have money carved out for guilt-free spending, it is literally defined so that if you want to eat and get an extra cheesecake, or you want to go to the movies, like, you don't have to feel guilty because you know my debt is being paid off, my rent or mortgage is being covered. I'm even saving money. I'm not trying to save money, just like I don't try to brush my teeth. It is happening automatically. It's even better than brushing. So that is, if you're listening, I hope that's a sense of relief that you don't have to feel bad about having debt. You do not have to track a gajillion numbers that you don't even care about. You do, and I would highly encourage you to focus on 4 key numbers that will totally transform your life.
I love this. I love how easy you're making this. Thank you for that.
It's absolutely my pleasure. I don't want to spend time doing that either. I don't want anyone else to waste their time on it.
So may I just, I want to clarify one thing. So these 4 pillars of the conscious spending plan, and again, I come from the lived experience of crushing debt.
Yeah.
Where you feel that unless you can get to zero balance, you don't deserve guilt-free spending.
Yeah.
That somehow you're cheating on your goal to get out of debt, which is what every financial advisor pounds into your head.
Yeah.
And you feel like that latte robs you of the opportunity to be out of debt. You feel like spending to go on a trip with your friends robs you of the ability to be out of debt. And what you're saying is, no. You can start right now by figuring out these 4 things and allocating incoming to those things.
Correct. We have a very unhealthy relationship with money in this country. On one hand, we have a puritanical strain that tells us, do not buy anything, and you're a bad person for having debt, and you should live in a monastery until that debt is paid off, and then maybe you can go buy a pack of gum, okay? On the other hand, we're like, okay, hold on, let me look at Instagram. Oh, my friend's in Bora Bora on Tuesday. Ooh, I think I'm going to go take a trip, even though I don't even know how much I have in the bank. What a 2 paradoxical beliefs, and usually it's the consumerist one that wins, but we still feel guilty.
Yes.
We love to feel guilty in this country. I don't really know I don't want to feel guilty with money. I'm not naturally like, I don't feel guilty. I'm just like, let me just fix this. So when it comes to having debt, here's my belief. Number 1, you need to know how much you owe. 90% of people I talk to who are in debt do not even know how much debt they owe. That's number 1. You got to know your numbers. Number 2, you've got to know the exact month and year your debt will be paid off. 95% of people in debt do not know their debt payoff plan. Easy way to do it, literally go on Google, type debt payoff calculator, plug your numbers in, and you will see. And don't worry if it seems depressing. Oh, it's going to take 28 years. What I want you to do is just plug the number in and sit with it for a day. And later, you will learn things like wow, if I add an extra $50 a month, it can shave off 3 years from my debt. But that comes later. I just want you to
know what else I also
acknowledge
love
it.
that you're saying is I love that you're saying it's okay to have it. Like most rich people actually finance a lot of things. And and that
debt is,
go ahead. You're the expert. I don't know why the hell I'm talking about money. Go ahead.
well, first of all, whether it's okay or not, a lot of people have debt.
Yes.
So let's just accept us for who we are. That's the fact of life. Now, I do want you to get smarter with debt. So when I look at people, I always look at a snapshot of their finances. And I talk about all these numbers on the podcast, by the way. We have folks who come on, $800,000 of debt. They're not even sure. Really? Are you serious?
Well, that was me over a decade ago. Yeah, when the liens hit the house.
Okay.
No college savings, no 401k, credit cards maxed out, home equity line maxed out, plowed it all into my husband's restaurant business. Did not go according to plan. I lost my job. Liens hit the house. He hadn't been paid in 6 months. Friends and family had invested. Holy fucking hell. That was my life.
Okay. So you really know what it's like.
Yeah, this is not a joke. This is...
It's like you think about it every day of your life when you're in it.
Yes. And in fact, there's research, I believe, that says that the number is $75,000 or $78,000 in the United States is what you need to make in order to be relieved of the day-to-day financial stress that you have. That when you reach that number, there's a level of freedom involved. I don't know if that's true or not.
I know the research.
What is it?
It's not that. People have wildly misinterpreted it. Let me put it this way, and I want to correct it because people listening who are making $75,000, they're like, wait a second, why do I still feel so stressed? What's wrong with me?
Right.
And there's not something wrong with you. Nobody is broken with money. Nobody. There are ways for you to get informed about money, so you know the basic language of money, which anybody can do. You do not have to be a math genius. I'm not. And second, to work on improving your money psychology. You know, I spoke to a couple on my podcast, and they were in a lot of financial trouble, and they think about it every day, and they were so stressed out. And I asked them, have you read my book? Not judging. It turns out like almost nobody who comes on my podcast reads my book, which I find hilarious. And so I said, okay. And they go, well, I haven't really read a lot. I said, okay, you're a new parent. She was a mom. I think her baby was about like 6 months old. I said, when you first had your baby, did you know how to hold her? She goes, no. Did you know how to feed her? No. Did you just wing it? Did you just tried your best, No. I got help. The nurses, my mom. I read a bunch of books, and on and on and on. And that is so normal. There are things in life we don't know. That's okay. But we do have to say, hey, this is important to me. My rich life is important. I deserve to dream bigger than a box of pickles. And therefore, I'm going to prioritize learning and also improving my psychology.
I am just on pins and needles. I have somebody on the show that I have admired from afar for a very long time. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about none other than Ramit Sethi. He has a simple step-by-step process that he's going to walk us through at zero cost today